Okay, I guess I'm gonna do this. Finish it up. Act 5. King John here. Scene 1, the same, a room in the palace. Enter King John, Pandulph, with a crown, and attendants. Thus have I yielded up into your hand the circle of my glory. Take again from this hand. Take again from this my hand, as holding of the Pope, your sovereign greatness and authority. Now keep your holy word, go meet the French, and from his holiness use all your power to stop their marches, for we are inflamed. Our discontented counties do revolt. Our people quarrel with obedience, swearing allegiance, and the love of soul to stranger blood, to foreign royalty. This inundation of mistempered humor rests by you only to be qualified. Then pause not for the present time so sick, that present medicine must be ministered, or overthrow incurable ensues. It was my breath that blew this tempest up, upon your stubborn usage of the Pope. But since you are a gentle convertite, my tongue shall hush again the storm of war, and make fair weather in your blustering land. On this Ascension Day, remember well upon your oath of service to the Pope, go I to make the French lay down their arms. So you're saying Charles was the Pope? I was just thinking about that. Before we continue, I was just thinking about that.
I will not.
The medicine. That's definitely not me, like I've said. No, I'm not going to go down to the jungle and get some jungle plant. You know what I mean?
Magic, you're calling the name. No.
On my own terms here, you know? By no means. Go to your doctor. Go to the physician. That's all I have to say to you. Don't come to me. I got my own thing going on. The truth. I can give you the blueprint. That's what I can do for you. I can tell you about it. There's a big gun right beside me, excuse me. Is this Ascension Day? Did not the prophet say that before Ascension Day at noon my crown I should give off? Even so I did suppose it should be on constraint. But heaven be thanked, it is but voluntary. Enter the bastard. All Kent hath yielded, nothing there holds out. But Dover Castle, London hath received, like a kind host, the Dauphin and his powers. Your nobles will not hear you, but are gone to offer service to your enemy. And wild amazement hurries up and down the little number of your doubtful friends. Would not my lords return to me again after they heard young Arthur was alive? They found him dead and cast him to the street. An empty casket, where the jewel of life by some damned hand was robbed and ta'en away. That villain Hubert told me he did live. So, on my soul he did, for aught he knew. But wherefore do you droop? Why look you sad? Be great and act as you have been in thought. Let not the world see fear and sad distrust. Govern the motion of a kingly eye. Be stirring as a time, be fire with fire. Threaten the threatener, and outface the brow of a bragging horror. So shall inferior eyes that borrow their behaviors from the great. Grow great by your example, and put on the dauntless spirit of resolution. Away, and glister like a god of war, when he intendeth to become the field. Show boldness and aspiring confidence. What? Shall they seek the lion in his den, and fright him there, and make him tremble there? Oy, let it not be said. Forage and run, to meet displeasure further from the doors, and grapple with him ere he comes so nigh. The legate of the Pope hath been with me, and I have made a happy peace with him, and he hath promised to dismiss the powers led by the Dauphin. O inglorious league! Shall we, upon the foot of our land, send fair play orders, and make compromise, insinuation, parley, and base truce to arms invasive? Shall a beardless boy, a cockered silken wanton, brave our fields, and flesh his spirit in a warlike soil, mocking the air with the colours idly spread, and find no check? Let us, my liege, to arms. Perchance the cardinal cannot make your peace, or if he do, let it at least be said. They saw me had a purpose of defence. Have thou the ordering this present time. Away then, with good courage. Yet I know our party may well meet a prouder foe.
Strongholds.
Chapter 22 of Jeremiah. Thus said the Lord, Go down in the house of the king of Judah, and speak there this word, and say, Hear the word of the Lord, king of Judah, that sittest upon the throne of David, thou and thy servants and thy people that enter in by these gates. Thus said the Lord, Execute ye judgment and righteousness, and deliver the spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, and do no wrong. Do no violence to the stranger, the fatherless, nor the widow, neither shed innocent blood in this place. For if ye do this thing indeed, then shall there return by the gate of this house kings sitting upon the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, he and his servants and his king. But if ye will not hear these words, I swear by myself, said the Lord, that this house shall become a desolation. For thus said the Lord unto the king's house of Judah, Thou art Gilead unto me, and the head of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make thee a wilderness, and cities which are not inhabited. And I will prepare destroyers against thee, every one with his abundance, and they shall cut down thy choice cedars, and cast them into the fire. And many nations shall pass by the city, and they shall say, Every man do this neighbor. Wherefore hath the Lord done thus unto the great city? Then they shall answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, and worshipped other gods, and served them. Weep ye not for the dead, neither bemoan him, but weep sore for him that goeth away, for he shall return no more, nor see his native country. For thus said the Lord, touching Shallum of the son of Josiah, king of Judah, which reigned instead of Josiah his father, which went forth out of this place, he shall not return thither any more. But he shall die in the place whither they have led him captive, and shall see this land no more. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. That saith, I will build me a wide house and large chambers, and cutteth him out windows, and it is sealed with cedar, and painted with vermilion. Shalt thou reign, because thou clothest thyself in cedar? Did not thy father eat and drink, and do judgment and justice, and then it was well with him? He judged the cause of the poor, and it was well with him. Was not this to know me, said the Lord? But thine eyes and thy heart are not but for thy covetousness, for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence to do it. Therefore thus said the Lord concerning Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, my brother, or Ah, sister. They shall not lament for him, saying, Ah, Lord, or Ah, his glory. He shall be buried with the burial of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry, and lift up thy voice in Bashan, and cry from the passages, for all the lovers are destroyed. I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou saidst, I will not hear. This hath been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice. The wind shall eat up all thy pastures, and thy lovers shall go into captivity. Surely then shalt thou be ashamed and confounded for all thy wickedness. Oi, inhabitant of Lebanon, that makest thy nest in the cedars, how gracious shall thou be when pangs come up upon me, the pain as of a woman in travail. As I live, saith the Lord, thou, Caniah, the son of Joachim, king of Judah, wert assigned upon my right hand, yet would I pluck thee hence. And I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, and to the hand of him whose face thou fearest, even to the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother, and bear thee into another country where ye were not born, and there shall ye die. But to the land whereunto they desire to return, thither shall they not return. Is this man, Cornelius, a despised, broken heart? Is he a vessel wherein is no pleasure? Wherefore are they cast out, he and his seed, and are cast into a land which they know not? Oi, earth, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord, write ye this man childless, a man that shall not prosper in his days, for no man of his seed shall prosper, sitting upon the throne of David, and ruling any more in Judah. Well, you tell like it is, do you? Scene 2, King John. A plain near St. Edmundsbury, French camp. Enter, in arms, Lewis, Salisbury, Mellon, Pembroke, Bigot, and soldiers. My Lord Mellon, Let this be copied out, and keep it safe for our remembrance. Return the precedent to this lord again, that having our fair order written down, both they and we, perusing o'er these notes, may know wherefore we took the sacrament, and keep our faith firm and inviolable. Upon our side it never shall be broken, and noble dogma, I'll by to swear a voluntary zeal, and unurged faith. To proceedings yet, believe me, Prince, I am not glad that such a sore of time should seek a plaster by condemned revolt, and heal the inveterate canker of one wound by making many. Oi, it grieves my soul that I must draw this metal from my side to be a widow-maker. Oi, and there were honorable rescue and events, cries out upon the name of Salisbury. But such is the infection of the time, that for the health and physic of our right we cannot deal with the very hand of stern injustice and confused wrong. And is't not pity, oi, my grieved friends, that we, the sons and children of this isle, were born to see so sad an hour as this, wherein we step after a stranger march upon her gentle bosom and fill up her enemies' ranks. I must withdraw and weep upon the spot of this enforced cause, to grace the gentry of a land remote, and follow unacquainted colors. What here, O nation, that thou couldst remove? That Neptune's arms, who clippest thee about, would bear thee from the knowledge of thyself, and gripple thee into a pagan shore, where these two Christian armies might combine the blood of malice and vain, and we cannot to spend it so unrighteously, unneighborly. A noble temper dost thou show in this, and great affections wrestling in thy bosom do make an earthquake of nobility. Oi, what a noble combat hast thou fought between compulsion and a brave respect. Let me wipe off this honorable dew, that silverly doth progress on thy cheeks. My heart hath melted at a lady's tears, being an ordinary inundation. But this effusion of such manly drops, this shower blown up by tempests of the soul, startles mine eyes and makes me more amazed than had I seen the vaulted top of heaven. Figures quite o'er with burning meteors, lift up thy brow, renowned Salisbury, and with great heart heave away the storm. Commend these waters to those baby eyes, that never saw the giant world enraged, nor met with fortune other than a feast, full warm of blood, of myrrh, of gossiping. Come, come, for thou shalt thrust thy hand deep into the purse of rich prosperity. As Lewis himself, so noble shall you all, that knit your sinews to the strength of mine. Intended. And even there, methinks an angel spake, Look, where the holy legate comes apace, to give us warrant from the hand of heaven, and our action set the name of right with holy breath. Hail, noble Prince of France, next is this, King John hath reconciled himself to Rome. His spirit is come in, that so stood out against the holy church, the great metropolis and see of Rome. Therefore thy threatening colors now wind up, and take the savage spirit of wild war, that like a lion fostered up at hand, it may lie gently at the foot of a peace, and be no further harmful than in its show. Your grace shall pardon me, I will not back. I am too high born to be a propriety, to be a secondary of control, or useful serving man and instrument to any sovereign state and throughout the world. Your breath first kindled like dead coal of words between this chastised kingdom and myself, and brought in matter that should feed this fire. And now 'tis far too huge to be blown out with that same weak wind which enkindled it. You taught me how to know the face of right, acquainted me with interest to this land, thrust this enterprise into my heart. And come you now to tell me John hath made his peace with Rome? What is that peace to me?
We keep dying like
Aye,
that,
by the
right?
honor of my marriage bed, after young Arthur claimed this land for mine, and now it is half conquered, must I back, because that John hath made his peace with Rome, and I
don't want that
Rome's
at all.
slave? What penny hath Rome borne? What men provided? What munitions sent to underdraft this action? Is not I that undergo this charge? Who else but I, and such as to my claim are liable, sweat in this business and maintain this war? Have I not heard these islanders shout out, Vive le roi, as I have banked their towns? Have I not here the best cards for the game to win this easy match played for a crown? And shall I now give o'er the yielded set? No, no, on my soul it never shall be said. You look out on the outside of this work. Outside or inside, I will not return till my attempt so much be glorified as to my ample hope was promised. Before I drew this gallant head of war, and culled these fiery spirits from the world, to outlook conquest and to win renown even in the jaws of danger and of death. But lusty trumpet, thus doth summon us. Enter the bastard attended. According to the fair play of the world, let me have an audience. I am sent to speak my holy lord of Milan. From the king I come to learn how you have dealt for him. And as you answer, I do know the scope and warrant limited unto my tongue. The Dauphin is too wilful opposite, and will not temporize with my entreaties. He flatly says he'll not lay down his arms. While the blood does ever fury breathes, the youth says well. Now, hear our English king. For thus his royalty doth speak in me. He hath prepared, and reason too he should. This apis and unmannerly approach, this harnessed mask and unadvised revel, this unhaired sauciness and boyish troops, the king doth smile at, and is well prepared to whip this dwarfish war, these pygmy arms from out of the circle of his territories, that hand which had the strength even at your door to cudgel you and make you take the hatch, to dive like buckets in concealed wells, to crouch and litter of your staple planks, to lie like pawns locked up in chests and trunks, to hug with the swine, to seek sweet safety out, in vaults and prisons, and to thrill out shake, even at the crying of your nation's crow. Think in this voice an armed Englishman. Shall that victorious hand be feebled here that in your chambers gave you chastisement? No, no, the gallant monarch is in arms, and like an eagle o'er his airy towers, to souse annoyance that comes near his nest. And you degenerate, you ingrate revolts, you bloody Neros, ripping up the womb of your dear mother England, blush for shame. For your own ladies and pale-visaged maids, like Amazons come tripping after drums, their thimbles and armed gauntlets change, their kneelds to lances, and their gentle hearts to fierce and bloody inclination. Therein thy brave, and turn thy face in peace. We grant thou canst outsold us. Fare thee well. We hold our time too precious to be spent with such a babbler. Give me leave to speak. No, I will speak. We will attend to neither. Strike up the drums, and let the tongue of war plead for our interest and our being here. Indeed, your drums being beaten will cry out, and so shall you, being beaten. Do but start an echo with the clamor of thy drum, and even a hand a drum is ready braced, that shall reverberate all as loud as thine. Sound but another, and another shall, as loud as thine rattle the welkin's ear, and mock the deep-mouthed thunder, for at hand, naught thrusting to this halting legate here, whom he hath used rather for sport than need, is warlike John, and in his forehead sits a bare-ribbed death, whose office is the day to feast upon whole thousands of the French. Strike up our drums to find this danger out. And thou shalt find it, Dauphin, and do not doubt. Scene 3. The same, a field of battle. Allurums, enter King John and Hubert. How goes the day with us? Oi, tell me, Hubert. Badly, I fear. How fares your majesty? This fever that hath troubled me so long lies heavy on me. Oi, my heart is sick. Enter a messenger. My lord, your valiant kinsman, Falconbridge, desires your majesty to leave the field, and send him word by me which way you go. Tell him towards Swinestead, to the abbey there. Be of good comfort, for the great supply was expected by the Dauphin here, are racked 3 nights ago on good with sins. This news was brought to Richard, but even now the French fight coldly and retire themselves. Ay me, this tyrant fever burns me up, and will not let me welcome this good news. Set on toward Swinestead, to my litter straight. Weakness possesseth me, and I am faint. Scene 4, the same, another part of the same. Enter Salisbury, Pembroke, Bigot, and others into the field. I did not think the king saw sword with friends. Up once again, put spirit to the French. If they miscarry, we miscarry too. That misbegotten devil, Falconbridge, in spite of spite, alone upholds the day. They say King John, sore sick, hath left the field. Enter Melon, wounded, and led by soldiers. Lead me to the revolts of England here. When we were happy we had other names. It is the Count Melon, wounded to death. Fly, noble English, you are brought and sold. Unthread the rue eyes of rebellion. And welcome home again discarded faith. Seek out King John and fall before his feet. For if the French be lords of this loud day, he means to recompense the pains you take by cutting off your heads. Thus hath he sworn, and I with him, and many mo with me. Upon the altar at St. Edmundbury, even on that altar where we swore to you, dear amity and everlasting love. May this be possible. May this be true. Have I not hideous death within my view, retaining but a quantity of life, which bleeds away even as a form of a wax resolveth from his figure against the fire? What in the world should make me now deceive, since I must lose the use of all deceit? Why should I then be false, since it is true that I must die here and live hence by truth? I say again, if Lewis do win the day, he has forsworn. If e'er those eyes of yours behold another day break in the east, but even this night, whose black contagious breath already smokes about the burning crests of the old feeble and day-wearied sun, even this ill night your breathing shall expire, paying the fine of rated treachery, even with the treacherous fine of all your lives, if Lewis by your assistance win the day. Commend me to one Hubert with your king, the love of him and the respect besides, for that my grandsire was an Englishman, awakes my conscience to confess all this. In lieu whereof, I pray you, bear me hence from forth the noise and rumor of the field, where I may think the remnant of my thoughts in peace imparts this body and my soul with contemplation and devout desires. We do believe thee, and beshrew my soul, but I do love the favor and the form of this most fair occasion, by the which we will untread the steps of down in flight, and like a baited and retired flow, leaving our rankness in irregular course, stoop low within those bounds we have o'erlooked, and calmly run on in obedience, even to our ocean, to our great King John. My arm shall give thee help to bear thee hence, for I do see the cruel pains of death right in thine eye. See ya. Awake, my friends. New flight and happy news that tends old right. Scene 5. The same, the French camp, enter Lewis, his train. The sun of heaven methought was loth to set, but stayed and made the western welcome blush, when the English measured backward their own ground, and faint retire, oi, bravely come we off. When with a volley of our needless shot, after such bloody toil we bid good night, and wound our tottering colours clearly up, last in the field and almost lords of it. Enter a messenger. Where's my prince? The Dauphin. Here, what's the news? The Count Melon is slain. The English lords by his persuasion are again fallen off, and your supply which you have wished so long are cast away and sunk on Goodwin sand. Ah, fool! Foul shrewd news! Beshrew thy very heart! I did not think to be so sad tonight, as this hath made me. Who was he that said King John did fly an hour or two before the stumbling night did part our weary powers? Whoever spoke it, it is true, my lord. Well, keep good quarter and good care tonight. The day shall not be up so soon as I, to try the fair adventure tomorrow. Scene 4. An open place to the neighborhood of Swinestead Abbey. Enter the bastard and Hubert severely. Who's there? Speak ho, speak quickly, or I shoot. A friend, what art thou? Of the part of England. Whither dost thou go? What's that to thee? Why may not I demand of thine affairs as well as thou of mine? Hubert, I think. Thou hast perfect thought. I will upon all hazards well believe thou art my friend, that knowest my tongue so well. Who art thou? Who thou wilt, and if thou please, thou mayst befriend me so much as to think I come one way of the Plantagenets. Unkind remembrance, thou and eyeless knight have done me shame. Brave soldier, pardon me, that any accent breaking from thy tongue should scape the true acquaintance of my ear. Come, come, sans compliment, what news abroad? Why, here walk I in the black brow of night to find you out. Brief then, and what's the news? Oi, my sweet sir, news fitting to a night, black, dreadful, comfortless, and horrible. Show me the very wound of this ill news. I am no woman, I'll not swoon it. The king, I fear, is poisoned by a monk. I left him almost speechless, and broke out to acquaint you with this evil, that you might the better arm you to the sudden time, that if you had at leisure known of this. How did he take it? Who did taste to him? A monk, I tell you, a resolved villain, whose bowels suddenly burst out. The king yet speaks, and peradventure may recover. Whom didst thou leave to tend his majesty? Why, know you not? The lords are all come back, and brought Prince Henry and their company, at whose request the king hath pardoned them, and they are all about his majesty. Withhold thy indignation, mighty heaven, and tempt us not to
Enemy
bear
team
above our
took the
power.
hill.
I'll tell thee, Hubert, half my power this night, passing these thoughts are taken by the tide. This Lincoln washes have devoured them. Myself, well mounted, hardly hath escaped, away before. Conduct me to the king. I doubt who be dead, or I ere I come. Scene 7, the orchard of Swinestead Abbey. Enter Prince Henry Salisbury and Bigot. It is too late. The life of all his blood is touched corruptly in his pure brain, which some suppose the soul's frail dwelling house, doth by the idle comments that it makes foretell the ending of mortality. Enter Pembroke. His Highness yet does speak, and holds belief, that being brought into the open air, it would allay the burning quality of that fell poison which assaileth him. Let him be brought into the orchard here. Doth he still
Enemy
rage?
team took the
He is
hill.
more patient than when you left him. Even now he sung. Oi, vanity of sickness, fierce extremes in their continuance, will not feel themselves. Death, having preyed upon outward parts, leaves them invisible, and his siege is now against the mind, the which he pricks and wounds with many religions of strange fantasies, which, in their throng, and pressed to that last hold, confound themselves. 'Tis strange that death should sing. I am the signet to this pale faint swan, who chants a doleful hymn to his own death, and from the organ pipe of frailty sings the soul and body of their lasting rest. Be of good comfort, Prince, for you are born to set form upon his indigest, which he hath left so shapeless and so rude. Re-enter Bigot and attendant carrying King John in a chair. Ay, Mary, now my soul hath elbow room. It would not out at windows nor at doors.
Enemy team
There is so hot a summer in my bosom that all my bowels crumble up to dust. I'm a scribbled form, drawn with a pen upon a parchment, and against this fire do I shrink up. How fair is your majesty? Poisoned, ill-fed, dead, forsook, cast off. And none of you will bid the winter come to thrust his icy fingers to my maw, nor let my kingdom's river take their course through my burned bosom, nor entreat the north to make his bleak wind kiss my parched lips and comfort me with cold. I do not ask you much. I beg cold comfort, and you are so straight and so ingrateful you deny me that. Oi, that there were some virtue in my tears that I might relieve you. The salt in them is hot. Within me is a hell, and there is the poison, as is a fiend confined to tyrannize on unreprievable condemned blood. Enter the bastard. Oi, I am scalded with my violent motion, and spleen of speed to see your majesty. Oi, cousin, thou art come to set my eye. The tack on my heart is cracked and burned, and all the shrouds wherewith my life should sail and turn to one thread, one little hair. My heart hath one poor string to say it by, which holds but till thy news be uttered, and then all this thou seest is but a clod and module of confounded royalty. The Dauphin is preparing hitherward, where heaven he knows how we shall answer him. For in a night the best part of my power, as I upon advantage did remove, were in the washes all unwarily devoured by the unexpected flood. You breathe these dead news in as dead an eater, my liege, my lord, but now a king, now thus. Even so must I run on, and even so stop. What assures you the Lord, the Pope, what stay, when this was now a king, and now is clay? Art thou gone so? I do but stay behind to do the office for thee of revenge,
Enemy team
and then my
took the
soul
hill.
shall wait on thee to heaven, as it on earth hath been sitting still. Now, you stars that move in your righteous fears, where be your powers? Show now your minted face, but instantly return with me again, to push destruction and perpetual shame.
Enemy team
Out of the weak door of our fainting land, straight let us seek, or straight we shall be sought. The Dauphin rages at our very heels. It seems you know not then so much as we. The Cardinal Pandulph is within at rest, who half an hour since came from the Dauphin, and brings from him such offers of our peace as we with honor and respect may take, with purpose presently to leave this war. He will the rather do it when he sees ourselves well sinewed to our defense. Nay, it is in a manner done already, for many carriages he hath dispatched to the seaside, and put his cause and quarrel to the disposing of the cardinal. with whom yourself, myself, and other lords, if you think me, this afternoon will post to consummate this business happily.
Your team.
Let it be so, and you, my noble prince, with our princes that may best be spared, shall wait upon your father's
There
funeral.
we go.
At Worcester must his body be interred, for so he willed it. Thither shall it then, and haply may your sweet self put on the lineal state and glory of the land, to whom with all submission on my knee I do bequeath my faithful services and true subjection everlastingly. And the light tender of our love we make to rest without spot forevermore. I have a kind soul that would give you thanks, and knows not how to do it but with tears. Boy, let us pay the time, but needful woe, since it hath been beforehand with our griefs. This England's never did, nor never shall, lie at the proud foot of the conqueror. But when it first did help to wound itself, now these for princes are come home again. Come the three corners of the world in arms, and we shall shock them. Naught shall make us rue, if England to itself do rest the true. I bid you adieu.
Killing spree.
For King John.
Enemy team took the hill.
The Pope. I believe.
Hill control. Nearing victory. Enemy team took the hill. Victory.
Very good. I hope it was a pleasurable one. Short and sweet this time. I'm gonna hang out though. I'll probably just keep this kind of rolling. I'll be back. Actually.